¿Qué tal? My name is Mike Lawrence. I'm really excited to be back once again. I was here last year on this stage, and today I'm going to do three things. I hope to delight you, I hope to teach you something, and I want to give you one thing by the end of the talk. So last year I focused on the Teacher's Lounge, and I felt that we could reclaim the Teacher's Lounge. I said a lot of words, a lot of declarative statements. I talked about yes and no and yes but. And then we talked about reclaiming the Teacher's Lounge because it is, after all, where good ideas go to die. And we needed to reclaim that space. And it was a yes and space. You remember? Remember last year? This year, I'm going big. We're going to reclaim the classroom. We're going to take over and we're going to make it a learning space where the best teachers are those that are still learning from each other and from the students, those lifelong learners. We're going to make it a space that goes beyond words, and we're going to focus on punctuation. Yes, punctuation. Now you probably know these, right? Question mark, exclamation point. And you know, I'm not the first to think about using these as organizing structures in the classroom. One of my colleagues, who you'll hear later on the stage, is actually using it in classrooms in his school district. They organize student learning into these three different categories. Something that has attention, that surprises you, something that is questioning, and something that's personal to you, something that really connected with you. And then they put stickies on the wall. But I think we can go even further. And this is how we're going to get there. Yes? Kentucky Fried Chicken. So KFC, Colonel Sanders, and by the way, a little tidbit, right here in Monterrey was the very first KFC in Mexico. Colonel Sanders himself came in 1963 to open it up for you and share his secret recipe, la tradicional receta secreta. It's 11 secret herbs and spices. That'll be important later. So their Twitter account, I don't know how many of you follow KFC, their Twitter account follows only 11 other accounts. Only 11. 5 ladies. They might be known as Spice Girls. Entiende? And these 6 guys named Herb. And that makes 11 herbs and spices. Yes. So that should inspire some wonder, some awe. Somebody thought of that. Somebody said, you know what we should do, boss? We should follow 11 accounts. The 5 Spice Girls and 6 random guys named Herb. And then you think, who thinks of such things? Okay, so that's exclamation point and question mark combined. What if we could combine them? What if there was already a punctuation mark that put them together? Well, there is. It's called the Interrobang. It exists. Look it up. It exists. In 1962, a guy named Martin Speckler created it. He's an editor, a journalist who became an advertising executive, and he got tired of putting question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point. And he put them together. And thus we have the Interrobang. And the reason I go into this, the reason I'm sharing this, the reason why I'm talking about this in relation to the classroom is that I think the Interrobang is the perfect punctuation to represent what we should be doing in the classroom, right? Students should all have a sense of wonder. Students should all be excited to be there. We as educators absolutely should be excited and be curious. It's what I would describe as enthusiastic curiosity. So here's an example. You did what? Casey's dead. By the way, when you flip it upside down, when you invert it, it's called Naborentini, because it's Interrobang spelled backwards. Okay. Didn't know if you got that. So, this is the kind of expression that you should have as educators. This is what you should be seeing in the faces of the students that we all teach. And there's a great example of it. One of my friends, Ramsey Musalam, did a TED Talk. I got to go to New York and cheer him on. I brought my son. He sat front row. It's called 3 Rules to Spark Learning. Go ahead and search for that. Find that. It's an amazing TED Talk. It's just about as long as my talk, 6 or 7 minutes. And he gives you examples about how you can spark learning in your classroom. Now, he cheats. He's a Spanish teacher, chemistry teacher. So he blows things up. And he has all these chemicals and explosions, and it's amazing. But he makes the argument, and I think it's a valid argument, that we can bring that sense of wonder to all subjects, all grade levels, in every classroom. And we should. So it's a great example, and I think that our classroom should absolutely inspire that sense of wonder or enthusiastic curiosity. So my gift to you, here's the last thing here, my gift to you. Take out your phones, it could be Android, it could be iOS. This example is iOS. It also works on iPads and tablets. And this is how you can actually share the Interrobang. You search for it, you copy it, you go to General, Keyboards, and then you add keyboard substitution, and then you paste it in and type whatever you want to use to trigger it. Don't worry, it'll loop. It'll go around again, and you can see this again. I do two substitutions. I do one that's the question mark first, and one that's the exclamation point first. That way it doesn't matter what order I type it in. So here we go again. We're gonna loop around again. You'll see it again. Oh, I'm gonna text it to Glenn. There you go, off it goes. So you just type it in and there it goes. So last 10 seconds, we're gonna loop around. This is how you do it again. Text replacement is how you do it. So that is my gift to you. You all walk away with that new skill and ability. Thank you so much.